third day of the SACP elective conference is in full swing in that area in Ekurhuleni. President Cyril Ramaphosa has delivered the keynote address in his capacity as ANC president. Let's go live now to eNCA reporter Govan Whittles to tell us more. Govan, I believe you are with Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe. I know that he's not really there in his capacity as a government official, but of course you have to ask him about what the president announced today, the possibility of Eskom getting another company to support it as SOE.
Thank you so much, Maseko. Yes, he is the Minerals, Resources and Energy Minister. He's also the national chairperson of the ANC, attending the conference and listening to what is one of the president's most powerful speeches this year, certainly well-timed, ahead of a policy conference coming up as he faces pressure from outside of the ANC, it should be said, and from within the ANC small groupings marching to Lituli House. But let's speak to the minister and we'll begin with the issue of energy. Minister, thank you so much for your time. The president says you have a good idea about forming another energy generation company. Is it Eskom 2? What's that idea?
That will help in establishing what we can call Eskom 2. It may be something else, because it takes away pressure from Eskom and we develop energy capacity. Because if you talk to Eskom today, they have all the problems, but there is nothing concrete on a build program. Now, that puts a huge risk on the state in the sense that over-reliance on private investment on energy, which is a public good, is a mistake. You must allow the private sector to get into that space, but the public entity is primary in supplying electricity as a public good.
You're talking about Eskom 2 that would focus on specifically renewable energy or base load generation as well?
Base load in the main, because everybody who talks energy runs into renewables, but nobody wants us to talk about base load. And in the long term, you will have sufficient renewables and not resolve the energy load shedding. You need base load, you need renewables to increase and improve the availability of energy. But base load is quite important. We need to build additional nuclear capacity. We need to build gas capacity. We need to build picking stations from water. We need to build all alternatives that are there. I'm not giving up on the clean coal technology, which we are experimenting with in Leandra. If it's successful, I hope we can actually use a capacity of coal as well.
Nuclear has been a divisive issue in the past. Are you starting to see within cabinet, within the ANC, more consensus build starting to emerge on nuclear?
Nuclear cannot be divisive. People commit a mistake between the 9,600 megawatts that was proposed that time with Russia, which was seen as corrupt and all that, and the technology. They are two different things. The technology is necessary, it's efficient, it works well. Quebec is the most efficient supplier of energy today in South Africa. So we don't throw a child with the bathwater. You continue with the technology. I think it's necessary. As we move further and build a big capacity of renewables, you're going to need a lot of gas, you're going to need a lot of nuclear. And the EU has voted nuclear and gas as part of green transition.
And they're looking towards Africa now to relieve some of the pressure as they're facing conflict with Russia. Just on the Eskom 2 possibility, what kind of process needs to unfold for this to become a reality?
The department will discuss that and take a resolution. The fact that there is an agreement, it's easy to write a resolution, a CAB memo, and go ahead and run with it. And actually, I can tell you, after the last few weeks, when this idea came back to the fore, I think we should work harder and faster to make it a reality.
Let's move to the issue of leadership. A very strong speech by the president. He does seem emboldened to press ahead with renewal. You had warned at another conference that alliance partners, members of the ANC, should be careful not to coalesce themselves into a coalition of the wounded and then form a coalition based on them all feeling attacked. The president seems under pressure to act now. Do you believe that he will be able to do so without dividing the organization further?
The organization must never be divided by doing the right thing. Any correct action taken at the level of the president and the NEC, I must say, should unite the organization. And my own view is that boldness on the part of the president is very essential and very urgent. And if we get that, I can tell you we'll go very far.
How do you think the fight for the soul of the ANC will play out?
The soul of the ANC is not for grabs. We must all coalesce around the soul of the ANC, because it's a movement that has history, that has values, it has traditions, and we must never water down those traditions. If you don't, you become a better organization.
Finally then, Minister Mantashe, the President responding directly to calls for him to step down, saying that he won't be bullied and intimidated, even as journalists asked him again outside. You're facing similar calls also from opposition parties. What's your take on calls for you to step down?
Now, when the call is from liberal analysts and from the opposition party, it's a credit to me. Okay, it's a credit to me. I've accepted that I've become an object of abuse by liberal analysts and lobbyists and the opposition politician. I take that as a credit. It's actually adding more stature on my part.
They say they're criticizing you because they want Section 24 determinations to open more IPPs and get them online. What's your response to that?
Can I tell you something? IPPs were opened in 2011. Between 2011 and 2018, we've put 6,000 megawatts on the grid. With the new programs, even before we increase the others, which we'll do, between the 5, 6, and 7, we'll give them 7,800. And if we open them up a little bit, we'll give them 10,000, which is much higher than what they did in 9 years ago. We'll do that in 3 years. So it is mischievous to actually think that every time there's load shedding, you must talk renewables, as if there are renewables that give you instant energy. There's no renewable that will give you instant energy. Renewables, to build that capacity, will take you 18 months, if you are fast, 12 months. Okay, between 12 and 18 to get that energy. We must implement that program and not mislead society by saying renewables will resolve load shedding now. It's not true, it's misleading, it's disingenuous, it's actually dishonest.
All right, thank you so much. That's the Mineral Resources Minister. He's the Minister of Energy as well, Govan Whittles, also remaining resolute in the face of criticism and speaking candidly about the energy future of South Africa. It's back to you for now, Masego.
Really enjoyed that interview. Govan Whittles live for us in Boksburg with the Minister of Energy, Govan Whittles there. Let's take